reInvent 2023 in the Expo Hall, live on Serverless Video. Sam Williams, one of our serverless people who just knows so many things and teaches people about so many serverless things. How's your reInvent going?
It's going really good. Like the amount of people here that I've been able to meet that I've just been interacting with online. And
have you been to reInvent before?
This is my first ever reInvent. So
have you been to Vegas before?
I've never been to Vegas. Which,
double trouble.
Yeah, that was very overwhelming for the first couple of days.
Yeah, and then you came to reInvent.
Yeah, and then everything here is just so massive and such a huge scale.
Cool. So I mean, just you came to reInvent. What was the idea for coming to reInvent? Why did you want to come? What is the plan?
Yeah, so for me, a large part of it is the networking, meeting other people in the serverless community and even outside of the serverless community. And also I've got my camera set up, so I'm also recording interviews with other serverless experts, making content, getting more opinions about like the difficulties, the challenges with serverless, and trying to make more content. Plus looking at some of the new things that are coming out.
Okay, so what has piqued your interest in terms of releases or announcements or things that you've thought, ooh, that's interesting?
So I think one of the ones that is really interesting is the speed of Lambda scaling. That one came out, I think it came out before reInvent even started, but I think it's not going to be something new you can go and test really, but especially with the enterprise customers and large scale customers with really weird access patterns and weird traffic, it's going to be really cool to see.
What part of the scaling do you think appeals to those enterprise customers?
So I think it's when you're dealing with like very spiky traffic. So I know in the UK, when there's a football game, in the adverts in the middle, there's a massive spike in like electricity usage. There's also, if you have, say, a football game and you're running a sports betting website, there might be a massive spike in the number of users like logging onto your website. So being able to handle that massive escalation of users is going to be really cool.
And also, I mean, just if people aren't aware of what's changed is basically a Lambda function used to be able to scale in a big region from a standing start to like 3,000 concurrent executions and then 500 a minute. And in a small region, it was 500 initial burst and then 500 every minute. And that was shared across all functions in a region in your account. Now it's 1,000 every 10 seconds for every function. So you don't have to do this crazy maths of trying to work out, well, which functions are actually using my burst. That's all gone. So I think it's just one of the things in Lambda we're trying to do is just some of those little things you needed to think about is just sort of crossing off the list.
Yeah, definitely.
So what got you into sort of education and serverless? Because that's been your thing of teaching other people.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
So this all started because I joined a startup many years ago, and they were like, oh, by the way, we only use AWS and we only use serverless. I'd never used serverless in my life. And
baptism by fire.
Baptism by fire, I built a Lambda function and API gateway on my first day on the job, which was great fun. But as I was learning more advanced things, I found that the topics weren't covered that well in articles and tutorials. The AWS docs are,
in-depth and they're broad.
But sometimes they're not, they often touch kind of the surface level stuff, but there wasn't the same level of depth that I'd seen with learning other platforms. So I was creating the YouTube videos and the tutorials I wish I'd had from 6 months earlier when I was learning.
Excellent, Well, that's what we like. I mean, the docs are all there, and they're the sort of, I think, encyclopedia of all the information. It's got everything. It's it's up to date. It's as in-depth as it can be, but that can be overwhelming because people want to do a little app and they don't understand all these kind of things and they don't understand what's required and what's not required. And so having sort of use cases for different industry verticals or use cases or web apps or data processing, this kind of thing. And what I like about explaining things to people is there's so many different angles to do it. And two people can literally create a video on the same topic and they'll be completely different from different angles, and they are applicable to different people and help different people. So we need more and more people helping people understand how to work.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think if anyone's out there likes the idea of creating content, then just start. Like when I started, it was just a screen recording of my laptop as I was clicking through the console. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to have fancy cameras and all this lighting and stuff. Just tell people what you're doing, why you're doing it, and you'll be surprised how many people actually benefit from seeing your experience as well as everyone else's.
Well, your content's good, so that's why people do watch it as well.
Thank you very much.
So is there anything particularly you're working on at the moment?
So at the moment, I'm kind of looking at creating a new course at the start of next year.
Okay.
Not announced what it is yet, but it's going to be good. Kind of moving more into the direction of education around serverless architecture,
interestingly,
because I think there's lots of things about how to build an API gateway, how to build Event Bridge, but actually the education around how to architect really advanced solutions is something that doesn't happen quite as much.
Okay, yeah. And there are all these different services, and there are lots of different ways to put them all together. And it's not about choosing one or the other. It's always trade-offs about which is better in this use case. And also things may evolve. You may have to change things. So, well, thanks so much for spending time with us today. How can people find you on the internet, or see your content, or get in touch with you?
Yeah, so if you want to watch the tutorials, then I have completecoding.io, which is my YouTube channel, and also Sam. I don't know what my thing is on LinkedIn, but yeah, LinkedIn. If you search for Sam Williams, then I am the serverless obsessive on there.
Serverless
yes,
obsessive.
That's my tagline. So yeah, if you want to follow me on there, I post regularly about basically anything to do with serverless.
Cool, excellent. Well, enjoy the rest of your reInvent. Enjoy the rest of Vegas. It's only day 2, so someone says it's a marathon, not a sprint, but it's a marathon every single day.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So yeah, well, thank you very much. We appreciate you spending the time with us today, and yeah, have a great day.
Thank you.